Shalawam, Apostle, coming back at you with the truth, giving all praise to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushua B'Hashem, Kodash. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, Man Pulls Gun on Mike Tyson, and then says Shalawam to Mike Tyson. The influence of Israelism is all over the place, you know? Now watch Vocab Malone say black Hebrew Israelite pulls gun on Mike Tyson and make a whole big thing about it and say you got to watch these Israelites because they pull out guns on people and they're dangerous. You know, that's what he's going to say. Well, he did that to Sakari, a guy who prepared to be an Edomite, looked like he was going to go to the small of his back and pull out something. And the brothers that were there speaking, they pulled out before he pulled out. And, you know, Vocab made a big thing out of it. But let's say that Edomite did that to some police officers, he would have been dead. He went like he was going, you don't know what the man had. But anyway, I'm not going to make this long. I'm not going to give you any precepts. But I saw the video, a minute and a half long. Man, he sounded like he's from Cali. Okay. And he was riffing a little bit at a comedy club, and he pulled the gun out on somebody else, not Tyson, and he put it away. Then he apologized, and he said, "Let me run down the street before they call the cops." So Tyson was sitting there. Tyson was cool as a cucumber, and he said, "No, come here, man, come here. No, come here, man, come here." And he went over to Tyson, and Tyson hugged him. And then the man said, "Shalawam." So you know what that means. That doesn't mean this guy is down with the Israelite group. Now, he could have been part of an Israelite group in the past. He could have watched our videos. We don't know. But don't be surprised if Vocab Malone does a video on this. And he might do it just because he's watching my video. But the influence of Israel is strong. Let me give you one precept, and then I'm gonna close. Actually, you have the word fame is written in the scriptures 24 times in 24 verses. You know what? Let me pick out a couple of them. Genesis 45, verse 16, and the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come, and it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. So Israel was the sons of Jacob. So Jacob was always famous. That's a good one. Numbers 14 and 15. I'm not going to read it. Joshua 6, verse 27. So Yahweh was with Joshua, or Yahushai. Joshua in Hebrew is Yahushai, and his fame was noised throughout all the country. Let's look up the word fame. Look up the word fame. Shemai, which means report, rumor, news, fame. Oh, here's another precept. For Mordecai was great in the king's house. That was Xerxes' house, the guy from the big tall guy with the tattoos and the jewelry all over his face. That was Osiris. His name in the scriptures is Osiris. He's also known as Xerxes. And his fame, Mordecai fame, went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. And Mordecai is most likely with us. If he's not with us, he's in the spirit realm. Jeremiah 6, verse 24. Let's see what this says. We have heard the fame thereof. Our hands wax feeble. Anguish have taken hold of us, and pain as a woman in travail. Now you know what I got to do. I got to get it in context. Let me go to the 23rd verse. I'll start from the 22nd verse. The enemy from the north. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, a people cometh from the north country, and a great nation shall be raised from the sides of the earth. They shall lay hold on bow and spear, which we know what the bow and the spear represent. The bow is the silo, and the spear is the missile. They are cruel and have no mercy. So we know who that's talking about. Their voice roareth like the sea. That's the missiles. You're gonna hear a great noise, and they ride upon horses. I went through this in another video I did a couple of days ago. Set in array as men for war against thee, O daughter Zion. So that's talking about the missiles, but it's talking about us as well, because we're going to come behind the missiles to take this man out. We have heard of the fame thereof. Our hands wax feeble. Anguish have taken hold on us, and pain as of a woman in travail. Go not forth into the field, nor walk by the way, for the sword of the enemy and fear is on every side. O daughter, which is the Israelites, of my people, Israelites, gird thee with sackcloth and hallow thyself in ashes. Make thee mourning as for an only son, most bitter lamentations, for the spoiler shall suddenly come upon us. That's talking about us being taken down, but now it applies to Esau. This part right here is talking about Israel, O daughter Zion, but this part right here, it says, they shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy. Their voice roareth like the sea, and they ride upon horses. That's talking about the missiles parabolically, but represents the enemy that came against Israel. But now flip it around, and this is talking about what's going to happen to Esau. So let's come back. Okay, I don't know if I went too far back. Okay, here we go, fame. First Kings 10, verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard the fame of Shalawam concerning the name of Yahweh, she came to prove him with hard questions. And then after she met the Lord, which is the Lord, met Solomon, she said that I haven't heard the half of it. They were talking about how great he was and how wise he was. And she wanted to hear about it. And when she met Solomon, she said, I haven't heard the half of it, of what they told me about him. Because that's Yahweh shot. In the book of Matthew, Yahushua said, he spoke about Solomon. He said the queen of the south. Let me look that up. See, now this video is getting a little long. The queen of, wait a minute. The queen of the south. Let's see what comes up. Okay, Matthew 12, verse 42. And Luke 11, verse 31. Matthew 12, verse 42. The queen of the south shall rise up in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost part of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, greater than Solomon is here. Why did the Lord say that? Because he knew that he was Solomon, but he was greater than Solomon because he didn't mess up. He didn't go off. Solomon went off. And when the Lord died for our sins, he died for his sins as well. The stripes of men. Luke 11, verse 31. The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with the men of this generation. And this is talking about now, and condemn them. For she came from the utmost part of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, the greater than Solomon is here. Let me come back over here. First Kings 10, verse 7. Howbeit I believe not the words. This is the Queen of Sheba, Makeda talking. Until the Queen of the South, until I came and mine eyes had seen it, and behold, the half was not told to me. You didn't tell me the half of it. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceedeth the fame which I heard. You were more famous and greater than what they told me. And that's why this Hebrew Israelite thing, especially the one Westers, is all over the planet, man. It's all over the place. And then you got a new guy that pulled out a gun. He didn't pull out a gun on Tyson. He pulled out a gun on somebody else. Tyson was sitting there. Tyson told him to come back. And he hugged, Mike Tyson hugged him. See, Mike Tyson grew up. You don't see, he's not in a lot of situations like he used to be because he grew up. He grew up, you know? So the man said, Shalawam. He didn't say salam alaikum. He didn't say shalom. He said Shalawam. He said, which proved that if he was not a part of one of the camps, he definitely watched some of the video, whether it be GMS, IUIC, ISUPK, HODC, Lions of Israel. You know, I got to mention Lions of Israel because Priest Daniela, because he might get mad at me. I'm shouting him out because I was watching one of your videos. The last road rage, I think you call it. You were getting down. You were getting down. I got to give you props. Anyway, it says, and he's thinking this. Oh, it likes me all of a sudden. Okay, it says here, First Chronicles 14, verse 17, and the fame of David went out into all lands, meaning it didn't go to the whole earth. It went out to all lands around about. And the Lord Yahweh brought the fear of him upon all nations. So we would, no, you don't want to mess with David. You don't want to mess with them Israelites. Okay, I got to read this one. First Chronicles 22. And see, this is how you build up your lessons too. All you got to do is take a particular word. I wanted to make this video no more than 2 minutes long, and it's going way over 2 minutes. It says, and David said, Solomon, my son, is young and tender. And what does that mean, young and tender? Meaning he's young, he's soft, he hasn't grown a beard, you know, he doesn't have his man strength. And the house that is to be built for Yahweh must be exceeding magnifical, of fame and of glory throughout all countries. And that's what's going to happen. Ultimately, that's what's going to happen. Our fame is going to go out through all the countries, literally the whole planet Earth, in the oikomany sense. I will therefore now make preparation for it. So David prepared abundantly before his death. Now we know he couldn't build the house to the Lord because he had too much blood on his hand. Here it goes again. I'm not going to read this one. You know what? Let me go ahead and read it. Second Chronicles 9, verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon, she came to prove Solomon with hard questions at Jerusalem with a very great company and camels that bear spices and gold and abundance and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. Now, there's an old fable that they had sex and they had a son named Melanick. That's bullshit. That's some Rastafarians pushing that nonsense. And this guy, Haile Selassie, is supposed to be that descendant. Now, Haile Selassie didn't know he was a god among the so-called West Indians because they made him up. Job 28, verse 22, destruction and death say, we have heard the fame thereof with our eyes. I'm not going to go all into that. Okay, this is the main one that I wanted. Zephaniah 3, verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee. Afflict who? The body of believers? No. Vocab Malone. It's talking about the Israelites. Hey, did you see what LeBron James did the other day? Did you see that dunk that he did? They're talking about it. They're saying he's the GOAT. Now they're saying he is over MJ, Kobe, Dr. J. They're saying that he is the GOAT. That's what they're saying. Go to the different ESPN sports channels and whatnot. And why is he so famous? Because he's an Israelite. We excel in anything that we do. LeBron James is definitely an Israelite. It says, behold, Zephaniah 3, verse 19. Behold, what have the small hats do? Did all kind of genre of music come out of the land of the small hats? Did the heavyweight champion boxing or any weight come out of the land of the small hats? They ain't did nothing. They ain't did nothing. Everything's coming from Jake. Jake is the thing. It's the it. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. We were the one, Israel was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So we would put this shame in America, right? It said, I will, let me go to that. Let me go to that. Boom. Remember, ball has buoyancy. Isaiah 22, verse 18. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. That's parabolic, for the ball represents the slave ships. The large country represents a Babylon, America, the land of Edom. There shalt thou die, and there the chariots of thy glory shall be the shame of thy Lord's house. Let me come back. Matthew 9, verse 26. And the fame whereof went abroad into all that land. And that was the fame of Yahushua, because he was healing people. Matthew 9, verse 31. But they, when they were departed, spread about his fame in all that country. Matthew 14 and 1. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahushua. Mark 1 verse 28. And immediately his fame spread abroad throughout all the region round about Galilee. Luke 4 verse 14. And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. Luke 4 verse 37. And the fame of him, Yahushua, HaMashiach, went out into every place of the country round about. So our fame, the men of the Lord, has gone out throughout the whole planet Earth through the internet. Last precept, and I'm gonna close it, Luke 5 verse 15. But so much the more went their fame abroad of him, and great multitudes came together to hear and to be healed by him of their infirmities. So they heard that he was healing people. So people said, let me go meet this man so I can get healed. Anyway, with that, let me come back over here. Okay, so if I remember, I'll leave the link in the description box. This is put up today, March 23rd, 2022, the year of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Turning up, TMZ Sports. If you thought Mike Tyson was a badass before, wait until you see how he handled himself when a guy pulled out a gun with 15 feet of him, within 15 feet of him. Well, I had guns pull on me a number of times, you know. And the first thing you do, you be cool about it. The first thing you do, you be cool about it if you're in the guy's sight, and you calm the man down. You know, he's tensed. He's tensed. You know, you make a false move, and he gonna shoot. He gonna let one off. So the first thing you do, you put your hand out, put your hands up. You might smile, you might say, yo, chill out, brother. And that's exactly what Tyson did. Tyson was cool as a cucumber. And the man even bowed, looked like he kissed Tyson's hand. And he said, Shalawam. But the thing that caught me is the fact that he said Shalawam. And guess what? Mike Tyson watches our videos. I'm pretty sure of that. All these celebrities be watching our videos, man. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say Shalawam.